This week on Bricks and Clicks, back to business. How these retailers progressed in their digital transformation during their 2-week break. How to successfully sell your products online and how to manage the journey once they're on the go. 6 bricks and mortar retailers have been selected to take part in an online course and incubator to set their businesses up on the web. They've already spent 1 weekend at Barangaroo in Sydney, where the sprint to transform their shops into global online brands began.
We're finding the Bricks and Clicks course fantastic. There's heaps to learn and we've packed so much into the 2 days.
I think he'll probably be the one who drives the homework side of things. So I think he's taken it all in.
I am, yes. Looking forward to come back in 2 weeks' time. That'll be awesome, yeah.
Well, 2 weeks is now up and they're back for another sprint weekend where our experts and millionaire mentors will take them through the remaining 4 modules of the Bricks and Clicks program, which you can use as well.
What we want to achieve by the end of this weekend is basically going online, having everything up and running.
Really getting the shipping, getting that worked out and how we actually execute that.
Hopefully we've got a few more ideas on how to target those customers, keep working on our website.
I'm really interested in the social media stuff.
We're really, really looking forward to it because we've done so much in building the website.
It's great to be back in Sydney for another sprint weekend. It's just been so motivating, the whole program, as it flows on.
Before they get back into it, though, let's check in to see what they all got up to since we last saw them.
Over the last 2 weeks, we've been building our website. We're getting much closer now to launching, and we're really excited about the way it's coming together and the increased service that we've been being able to offer our customers.
A lot of this has been going on at night after work. Ray set himself up on the dining room table. He's calling in our tech support bloke. They're having nighttime conversations.
Our daughter Grace has been fantastic, very supportive. I found out this week that at primary school, they're starting to build a website.
Oh, she feels like she's all over it. Oh yeah, I know what you're doing. Yeah, no, I've done that.
We got straight back to work, rang our web guy, rang our printing guy, and got our website pretty much done, ready to go in 2 weeks.
I haven't seen much of Sammy for 2 weeks. She'll be off early for work and then coming home late. Call her during the day just to see how things were tracking, and she was full steam ahead.
I have engaged a web developer and we're trying to get photos up and running. I haven't got very far. At the moment, it's probably just at the design stage, just at the very, very beginning. It's just been full on, really full on.
Over the last 2 weeks, we've been on a massive learning journey. Yeah, our brains are very full right now.
We've still had to work every day, obviously,
Yeah.
so fitting in around that has been a little bit of a challenge, but, you know, a good learning curve and good fun too.
We've already got a website, so what we needed to do was get our online store attached to the website that we've already got. That was a learning curve for us, how to set up the shop, how to put the products in, doing the product descriptions, coming up with all the tags.
And linking all those facets together, not just for the website, but also into our gallery itself. We've done all this ourselves. Mainly Anna has been typing away, tapping away on the keyboard.
The last 2 weeks has been fun. In between our day-to-day life, we've been dealing with web designers, really updating our products in our retail point of sale at the moment to get them ready to go online. Images and all these sorts of things that we should have done a long time ago, but this last fortnight we've really put a focus on it to get it ready to go live.
We've probably squeezed a year's worth of work into 2 weeks.
Long hours, it's looked busy, but it's hopefully been productive. Yeah, don't want to relive it.
So the last 2 weeks have been super busy, haven't they?
Yes.
So we've been building our website. We've actually been building our website. Can you believe it? It's just all happened.
It's taken a lot of time.
Yes.
It's not there yet, but we're on the way, which is so exciting.
I've got to say, credit to the younger, perfect one over here. She's very good at doing all of these things. And then I've also got a beautiful young daughter who is a VA kind of gal. So the 3 of us have really worked really hard and trying to put it all together, and I think it's looking okay.
After the break, marketing matters. Now these guys know how to build a website. It's time to show them how to use it to successfully sell their products online. It's day 1 of the 2nd sprint weekend here at International Towers in Barangaroo. Our local retailers have arrived, ready to knuckle down for the next half of the Bricks and Clicks program. A course you can also do by simply jumping online and signing up. It's totally free and is designed to help small businesses get up to speed on the digital front. So now that the gang have learnt how to build a website, it's time for them to learn how to market their products to the world.
Lovely to see you all again. Congratulations on another couple of weeks of getting closer to being successful online. My name's Nick, I'm from Netregistry. We help small businesses be successful online. When we talk about successfully selling online, we talk about how do you engage customers and how do you find customers. You know, finding customers is where social media is so important. You know, really understanding, do they use Facebook? Are they on Facebook like 11 million Australians every month? You know, what are they using Pinterest for? Are they using Instagram? When are they on Google? What are they doing on social media? What role does it have to play? So I think really understanding what platforms they use and what social media channels they're on helps us understand how to find the right people.
I'm pretty much doing all the things that he was saying already, selling on Facebook and some Instagram, not very big on Instagram, but on Facebook a lot. And it's just nice to know that you're doing the right thing.
You know, we talk about engagement, we talk about content, and they're classic marketing buzzwords. Content really just means information. How do you put information out there that people are going to find useful, find interesting, read, listen to, watch, learn from? And then if they like it, they'll share it, they'll follow you. They'll then go out and it'll amplify onto all of their social networks, which means that you can talk to a whole bunch of people that aren't following you, that aren't your friends.
So Nick from Netregistry came in again and kind of reinforced a lot of stuff we'd already learnt last week and sort of elaborated a little bit on that sort of customer journey and how we can tap into that, which was really useful.
When we look at which channels, I think the easiest thing for you to do in terms of getting a really good understanding of that is to get online yourselves. Start researching. Go into Google, type in the things that you think people will type, read the articles, follow the links, click on stuff, go through to Facebook, try and find forums where people are talking about products like yours.
One of the biggest things I took out of it was to really identify who your customers are and who you're trying to target and base your marketing around that.
So if we look at, you know, roughly 50% of all advertising spend globally now goes on Facebook and Google. You know, it's been an incredible shift in the last 10 years. And they are built around providing the right piece of information to the right person.
We learnt so much about how to look, where to look and how to find the people who we want to come and see My Little Dream Co. So I think that was really helpful to get Nick from Netregistry helping us with that.
If we think about how that works, the advertising model is based on something called PPC, pay-per-click advertising. Pay-per-click model changes and it says you don't pay until somebody clicks. And they're not going to click unless they find it interesting. Very, very simple. But the question is, how much do you pay? And that price changes based on how relevant and how interesting and how that your content is and how many people have engaged in it.
The pay-per-click advertising was really interesting. Like, we want to talk to our customers, but we want to talk to people who want to be talked to. We don't want to irritate anyone.
So by creating the right piece of content and really thinking about purpose of that piece of content, why people use it, and trying to create something that's really interesting and really engaging so that people use it and engage that content, what it will ultimately do is reduce your ongoing costs.
My questions to him were really about, you know, how do you actually get that to work within a budget? And he just explained that and worked through that it's not just all 1, 2, 3, 4. You really have to work your way through it and learn as you go, which was super interesting.
So Netregistry, what we talk about with customers when we're saying how to be successful at selling online, work out your platforms, work out what channels people use. You don't have to go on all of those channels. There are thousands of channels out there that you can use. Pick a couple that are going to make the most difference and do them really, really well.
And don't forget, people don't buy products, they buy people. Just like millionaire mentor Irene Falcone discovered when she started her business, Nourish Life. After the break, the stories behind the remaining 3 small business owners and how our retailers can use them to help sell their products online. Last week, we got up close and personal with 3 of our 6 retailers to uncover the stories behind their brands. Today, we're going back in time to see exactly what makes Kelly Jackson's world spin.
I love Atomic Retro. That's my most favourite period because I love all the angles of Atomic Retro. I love just the era, the fashion, Just everything about Atomic Retro, I think, is just absolutely gorgeous. My passion for Atomic Retro has probably influenced my business in that I'm probably stuck in a retro era. Personally, I was a teenager in the 80s, so I'm pretty much stuck in the 80s for everything except fashion, hopefully. And so I've stopped there with vinyl. I've always bought records. I've always played records. I've never, ever downloaded a song in my life. I got the idea for making things out of vinyl records when I was in town one day, and I saw a lady with a handbag that just had a vinyl record printed on it, and I thought it was an actual record. And I'd just quit a job that I'd had for about 13 years and was just doing nothing really, just having a break, and got home and thought, I'm going to try and make one of those. When I had my first store up the road, it was a studio for the things I was making out of vinyl records, like coasters and handbags and things. And people started coming in and wanting to buy proper records that I wasn't making things out of. And I eventually decided to take the leap and start grading them and pricing them and cleaning them and putting them out on display, and it's slowly morphed into a record store. We have a huge vinyl community in Newcastle and in Australia. Records have never ever gone out of style, never gone out of fashion. People say that there's a resurgence, but it never left. It just never ever left. Everything old is new again, I suppose. But it's the community, it's the vinyl community that keeps it going. I love it when I get young kids coming in here buying their first record, because that's quite an event as far as I'm concerned. I think we all remember the first record that we ever bought.
From Newcastle to Wollongong, where the perfect family life includes more than just one perfect family pet.
Married with 3 children, 2 twins, boy and a girl, Riley and Liam and Ruby. We live in Kembla Grange, just outside of Dapto, so lots of schools for the kids, lots of open spaces and parks and things for them to get around. We're only 5 minutes from the beaches, so that's great for us. It's nice and easy out of the hustle and bustle of Sydney. We're a little bit rural, and we get to enjoy all the benefits of Wollongong. The business was originally around the 1950s. It was a feed mill, originally a production mill, and was brought over to its location now about 20 odd years ago, and originally was brought over here to focus on the racing industry and the equestrian industry. We're just next to the racecourse here, and it's really been a great asset for our business. I love the horses and the race and that sort of stuff. Carl's was much more the domestic dogs and that sort of thing. That was the original core part of the business, and as Wollongong sort of continued to develop, we've expanded that offering to a lot of domestic dog and cat now. So we've almost got 2 stores in itself. So in the produce side of our core customers, probably a person with 1 or 2 horses, they come through, they really want the best for their horse. It's a core part of their family. The other side, and the domestic pet side, is your family that's got the standard 4-bedroom house. They've got the dog or the cat or the bird at the backyard. The pet industry has gone through a big change again in the last 10 years. Now people are treating their pets much more like part of the family. We've found a big shift to premium and super premium brands. So once upon a time, you'd have a big 20-kilo bag of dog food that the customer would be happy with, where now they expect a lot more out of their foods, and they really want to see the best for their pets. We've got out the front dog wash machines where people often go to the beach or bring the dogs down over a weekend for a bath and a bit of a treat and whatnot, and make a real outing of it, so it's great.
From perfect pets to chasing the perfect wave. As all surfers know, distance is never an issue when it comes to nailing the ride of your life.
I live in Sydney with my husband and 2 black labs. My husband actually works on the north side, but because I'm down in Wollongong, for us living right in the middle of the city, gets us both on highways pretty quick. It's not ideal to drive an hour and a half each way to work, but we love it. So Mum and Dad started surf stores over 40 years ago. So I've always been in the family business. I've done other stuff. I've been a ski instructor, I've worked in advertising, but I've always worked weekends, Christmas, always come back to this. I took over running the business in 2000. We had 14 stores throughout the ACT and New South Wales. We've brought that back down to 1 store. I really love the instant gratification of buying product and selling it to a customer, and I love making them feel fantastic when they walk out the door. That's a real buzz to me. We have a brand of surfboards that we really want to grow online to a different market. We really believe that that beginner to intermediate surfer isn't being catered for in a big way. It's called Dirty Rotten Surfboards. We do 3 models. It's 3 surfers, 3 stories. It's about that person that wants to get into surfing past their foamy beginner board
but doesn't want to go and spend $1,000 on a performance board. They're Australian made. I think that's a really important thing for our customers, to have an Aussie made, really good value surfboard that they can just get straight into.
After the break, on the go. Millionaire mentor Mick Spencer drops in to deliver his expert advice. Our 6 retailers are now 3/4 of the way through the Bricks and Clicks course. So far, they've learned why their business needs to be online, how to build a website for their bricks and mortar shops, and the best ways to market and promote their products. Now it's time for the next millionaire mentor to deliver some advice on the best ways to send your goods.
About 3 weeks into uni, I started printing T-shirts for some friends. I had a friend who had a soccer team and they were struggling finding a printer who could do some strips for his team in a week. So I, with another friend of mine, figured out screen printing and made these items and delivered them in a really short period. And I thought this was really fun. And what it did for me, it got my business off the ground.
For someone so young to create such a big business in a short period of time was just, yeah, it was really inspiring.
I often say that in business, you never know who you talk to or what service you give to a customer and what that might lead to. Well, someone in that soccer team that I made those first shirts to called me up about 2 months into operation. And they'd pre-sold 500 cycling jerseys. And they needed them in 3.5 weeks. And no one in the world could manufacture custom cycle kits in less than 12 weeks. I ended up importing that shipment myself, having to learn what an import license meant, import broking, paying duty, taxes, paying an overseas factory that I'd never met, which was really a massive risk.
If you really think about it and work out what your customers need to achieve, you can actually build a business out of solving people's problems, even if it's just a tiny problem.
The company grew from me in a garage 6 years ago to a multi-million-dollar company, valued in the tens of millions of dollars, almost 50 team members.
He's so young and he did so much. He created his own path, which I thought was quite fascinating, but I found that really overwhelming listening to his thing. It was very good, but I just kept looking at him just thinking, how did you do that?
We were lucky in a sense that we found a product that for us was really easy. You know, clothing is really easy to ship. It doesn't have a lifespan on a shelf. When people order with us, they're guaranteed that their order will be there. If we say your order's here in 3 weeks, it'll be 3 weeks, not 3 weeks, 2 days. And one of the really important things that is probably beneficial for all businesses is actually to set yourself up with a DIFOT score, which is a delivery in full on time score. And actually really measure yourself and your suppliers to that.
The session with Mick was really great because he really gave us a lot of information that was very informative in terms of how you actually deal with the logistical side of the business, because often you just get involved, get started, and you don't actually know how to deliver that product.
A lot of people make a lot of effort to make the sale and then make sure that they're finding the right product for that customer. And often you can ruin that customer's journey by how bad you are at logistics.
Today we've covered a whole lot of issues in regards to logistics, and it's been a real challenge from my point of view because of the type of product that we move and the diversity of that product, but also where we move it from.
Unfortunately, companies like ours, companies like yours, we don't own airlines, we don't own transport, so often you're at the livelihood of a freight contractor. Some of the things that we learned early on was we needed to find really great supply partners with our freight. Never feel like you're too small to be able to sit down with a freight company and say, well, you know, if I'm going to move my shipments to you, these are my non-negotiables.
Mick also went on to say about how in the distribution chain, how important it is not only for us to recognise that importance of customer service, but making relationships with your supply chains and trying to instill that service point with those guys all the way through.
The other touch point that's really important is the experience someone gets when they get your shipment, how our product looks, how it's folded, how it's labelled, how it goes in a satchel, the note that goes in the satchel, the box that it goes into.
Well, other than being very inspirational, he really gave us a good insight into the experience that people have on the other end of the purchasing. So when their packaging arrives, that is also an experience that shouldn't be underestimated.
It's so important to control your experience. You might be a value player in the market in the way of your price point, but it is important to be very proud of what you're delivering, because the difference when someone receives that product that they've ordered from you, you know, can really make or break their returning sale.
What an inspirational story. I just love it when people overcome the odds and forge their own path to success. I really do take my hat off to entrepreneurs like Mick. Time now, though, to check in on these entrepreneurs to see what's resonating with them.
Today was like, I think, a little bit of icing on the cake, should I say, where it was like, yes, we've kind of got this.
Summing up today was just getting down to the nitty-gritty of the Facebook advertising.
I've spent thousands of dollars on Facebook advertising campaigns, and all I've received back is a couple of new likes and click-throughs. Now I've actually learned that you can get really intricate and actually get a return on investment.
It's been another inspiring day. The experts have been fantastic and really helpful. Really look forward to engaging with our customers in this whole new way.
There's just so much information that we've been given, and it's all really valuable.
Lots of things to get through, lots of things to think about. I can do that. We'll see how it goes from there. Yeah.
Well, day 3 is now officially over, and our retailers are off to rest up for the final sprint to take their businesses online. And don't forget, you can also take your business online by registering for the Bricks and Clicks course. Just go to bricksclicks.com.au. Next week on Bricks and Clicks.
People are curious, and once they're curious, they start to buy.
I've learnt quite a bit that I didn't think I was quite capable of.